know, just tune into our show. It's called You Need to Know. It's hosted by a few people that you need to know. Lady Di, Lady E, Lady Vi, let's go. I'm giving you the hottest tips from politics to going green all the way to school scholarships. They in the know with whatever you need to know. So when you stuck, you don't know what you need to know. Just sit back, relax, tune into the show. You need to know. It's called You Need to Know. If you want to find out whatever you need to know, you can find out by sitting there looking at the show. So enough with a little bit of this and a little bit of that from that man Jay Stacks. It's time to sit back, curtains up. Now let's start the show.
Good afternoon, people. This is another session of You Need to Know. And if you were going to find out in a few minutes, it's just myself on set today. And my guest that I have a friend, a nephew that's over in the audience. So if you hear a voice that's going to help with my guest to ask some questions about this young man, what he's trying to do for the city of Bridgeport. I'm not coming to you guys today with anything going green, but we have some statistics that we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to put these questions to my guest, Tony Barr, here. Jamie, could you? And we've done an interview with Tony a little bit before. This young man is running for mayor for the city of Bridgeport. The last time we had the other two girls with us.
Yes, ma'am.
But today it's going to be me and you and my nephew over here in the corner, and we're going to come to you with some issues that's facing this city. We're going to talk about some things that's going on, and we're trying to bring this stuff to you guys. We want to be able for our audience to be aware of some of the things that's going on. Diana's not here today, so she's not going to do the scholarships. Neither is Viola with the need to know stuff. But I'm going to introduce my guest to you guys. And this is Tony Barr. Tony, if you would look at this camera here so that the people can really see your face. And we're going to get to you in a few minutes, nephew. Okay, so that the people out there, we want them to get to know who you are when they see you on the streets, know you in the communities, know who you are and what you're about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Some of the things that we were talking about before, some of the changes that you want to see come to this city. Mm-hmm. You know that our downtown is in shambles.
It's in disarray.
Okay. Can you kind of tell some of the people, what do you see a change for the downtown Bridgeport?
Okay, well, first of all, you have to look at the situation of the downtown Bridgeport. You have to look at the fact that this is our headquarters.
Exactly.
This is what we bring to the people, an opportunity to say what Bridgeport has to offer. Mm-hmm. And if the moment that they arrive in Bridgeport and they come to the downtown area, and you see that you have all these vacant buildings.
All the vacant buildings.
So that automatically tells you, it explains itself.
Exactly.
It says, where
What's
am I?
been going on?
Where are we?
Yeah.
Or are we in some combat zone? Or that's the mentality that people have to take. Now, I like to give examples. The perfect example to all of this is this. If you look at the surrounding communities, mm-hmm. which are communities, Bridgeport could never be recognized as a community. You take Fairfield, you take Trumbull, you take Stratford. Those are functional communities.
Yes, yes indeed.
Bridgeport is the biggest city in Connecticut.
Exactly.
Supposed to have more to offer than any city in Connecticut.
And we look at Hartford, and we look at Stamford, and these are smaller cities than Bridgeport.
And they're flourishing.
And they're flourishing.
Okay.
What happened?
What happens is bad decision making.
Okay.
Economic decisions that don't make sense. When you have economic decisions or make economic decisions and that doesn't make sense, mm-hmm. then this is the result that you get. So when you take what's taking place in Bridgeport is that you can't blame no one other than the whole body of people in Bridgeport. You can't just single out one particular group over the other. But I will single out one particular group.
Okay, come on.
And that's the leadership. That's the leadership that's been given opportunity year after year that doesn't look like us, which is the European. He has no reason not to do right by us because we continue to put them in office and they continue to rob our city. They continue to raise the taxes. They continue to prosper and grow. They continue to not live in Bridgeport. They continue to take all the riches from Bridgeport back to their communities. And if it's not a problem, you don't have a problem with that, then fine. Don't vote for Tony Barr. But if you believe in your city and if you believe in your babies and every responsible parent, and you don't even have to be a responsible parent. If you love your child, then you love Tony Barr because he's restoring everything that your baby's supposed to have. Every opportunity that's supposed to be given to the young people will be given back to the young people. We lost the way. The leadership lost the way.
Yes.
You practice wrong long enough, you can't recognize right. Okay, you're looking at the right person. I'm the right person for the change. If you practice something forever and you do it wrong, it don't make sense when you see right.
Right. Two wrongs don't make a right.
And here we go.
It does not.
And we're going to change that course. And we're going to change that course with honesty.
That's the first thing.
You have to start with honest people.
Yeah.
And when you start talking honesty, a bad fella, they never want to hear that type of talk because they've been practicing wrong so long.
For so long.
So they're immediately like, okay, I'm going to be the ugliest person by their account. What is he talking about? There's ways of getting our city back where it needs to be.
Oh my God. I mean, I think back when I was a young girl.
Yes, ma'am.
In my teens, my early 20s, and I remember the city being a flourishing city. You know, I was just telling young lady that I work with today about the movie theater that was down on Main Street.
That's right.
You had the Majestic and the Poli there.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember getting in there for 50 cents.
50 cents and enjoy yourself. But that's a little before my time. But go ahead.
That's okay. But that's all right. Okay, don't be jealous. Okay. Don't be jealous. You know, but you had two awesome theaters there. And then you had the one that was over here on Fairfield Avenue.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we had flourishing not only supermarkets, but we had flourishing activities for kids.
Everything was in place, and that's because people cared then. People cared about each other then. Now the respect level is not there anymore.
It's not.
We're at an all-time low as a city. We're at an all-time
for to
be the largest city,
and
we're at an all-time low in terms of how we do business with each other. And in order for us to get back on course, because we're off course, and I'm always going to start off by saying it, which is the truth.
Yes.
Nothing prospers without the guidance of God.
Without it. Well.
So if you're a believer in God, and you love your kids, and you want to see your kids have an opportunity, and if you want to see your city grow the way that it's supposed to grow, if you want to see the taxes go down like they're supposed to go down, not continue to go up. If you want to see the property tax go to where you can understand, have a better understanding of what's supposed to be, what it's like to actually live in a city. Bridgeport is not a functional city. It's a dysfunctional city.
Yeah.
The people that run the city are dysfunctional as well. But at the same time, they're in it for personal gains. We can't knock that and let them do what they do. But their reign is over. You will no longer have the opportunities to rape the city of Bridgeport anymore. I don't care what group you're with or who you're with or what you think money's going to do. This is about the people. We're going to give this back.
It should always be about the people.
We're going to give the power back to the people. The power goes back to the people. For every person that's ever been incarcerated, I encourage you to get involved with this thing. Get your voting acts in order. Register to vote. We're going to show them. We're going to walk them right out of the city of Bridgeport, right out of office. We're going to walk you right out with doing it the right way and restore hope back to the city, back to the kids, back to the parents, back to the people. This is what we're going to do with this thing. We're not going to continue to let people dictate, and the only time that we can see them is when we have a funeral.
My God.
We had the mayor, and God, my condolences always go out to all the loved ones that lost loved ones to violence. Had the mayor come to probably the biggest the biggest funeral in the city of Bridgeport in years. And he looked like Tarzan standing there telling them justice is going to be served and the perpetrator was apprehended. This is what the mayor, the present mayor stands for. This is who he is. If you want to know what your kids are supposed to do after school, he has no plan for them, no programming for your kids. It's called this. If you want to know what it's like not to have jobs and live here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, it's called this. It'll eventually happen. If you want to know what your babies are doing that's old enough to run the streets, they're probably into all the wrong things, drinking and doing drugs and stuff, and eventually somebody ends up dead.
Yes.
This is all goes to get your attributors to your mayor. Your mayor also decided that the best thing for him to do for the city of Bridgeport is put a gun range right next to a middle school.
And I was getting
a
ready
gun
to
range
just
right
getting ready
next to a middle school.
About that one.
If this was Sandy Hook, and God bless all those kids in the Sandy Hook areas and the parents and everybody that lost loved ones in it, if this was Sandy Hook, the whole community would pull him out of office today. Yes. We wouldn't have to go through this type of garbage.
From a school.
Across the street from a school. So this is the love that he shows you. If he doesn't love your kids, what makes you think he loves you to continue to keep putting him in office, to keep making it possible for him to govern over us? I will be the next mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut. Hey, I don't care how many people get in line. This is my job. And my job is to restore integrity, faith, understanding, respect. And so people can feel good again about themselves. Kids can feel good about themselves. Kids can look at me and say, you know what? He loves us. And that's what it's supposed to be. This is about love. This is not about me looking for personal gains. And anybody that look like me, that's been sitting on your behinds all these years, you need to become men and women and stand up and fight for what's right. You should be tired of fighting for what's not right. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. I lost it a little bit. I lost it a little bit, and that's what's needed. Passion.
Listen, one of the issues here that this city is facing was in the September 30th newspaper that says 1 in 7 children in the state living in poverty. That's
1 in
7 children in the state lives in poverty. Okay? The census data released early this month shows that more than 1 in 3 Bridgeport children were living in poverty as of last year, 2012. Okay? The Park City has the highest share of kids below the federal poverty line. This has to be crazy. It's craziness.
It's insane.
37.6%. That's more than triple the rate of the whole Fairfield County as a whole.
That's right, ma'am. And let me explain something with this with poverty in society itself. Poverty starts with in our communities. And when I say our community, I'm talking about Bridgeport. Bridgeport itself is in poverty in terms of our communities because so many of the parents now are babies, having babies.
Exactly.
So they're not capable of understanding the ramification that goes along with not being able to care for your child. So this also has the biggest effect on the kids at school. So if a broken home, they're coming from broken homes. The home is broken, and there's no food there. So the kids go to school under the impression of, if I can get to school, I'll at least be able to have what? A breakfast and a lunch. And then pray that maybe something happens later in the evening. And so the cycle starts all over. And it's sad that that's where we're at. And so many people, young people, have lost their way and babies having babies. But this is not a cop-out. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we're addressing. In order for us to start bringing some healing to this thing, is you still have to put God in the equation.
We need plenty of healing.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
We need plenty of healing.
We need it in abundance.
You know, I was talked to. I want my nephew here to give this question that he was putting to you a little earlier. I'm sorry that I don't have a mic. And I did not set the other one up, but if you could speak up loud enough.
Yes. My question is, Brother Mayor, is can you describe a typical day in your role and pursuit as being our mayor?
A typical day for myself would basically be doing what's needed. Get out there and because I'm homegrown. I know all that's going on in this inner city.
Okay.
I'm strictly from the